Good morning, children. Today I am going to continue the lesson number 15. That is our India physical diversity. So in previous class we learned about the two physical divisions of India, the northern mountains and plains. Today we learn about the coastal plains and peninsular plateau. Understood? So India is our country. It has variety of physical features, mountain ranges, very high peaks, plateaus, vast plains, river systems, desert, coastal plains and islands. So these are all make our country very strong and beautiful, and India become unique natural settings. So India is a home of variety of plants and animals. So in this lesson we learn about the physical map of India, and also we learn about the Himalayan mountains, plateaus, plains, coastal plains, river basins, etc. So in this lesson we learn about the physical features of India. Indian land surface do not same all over. In some places we see mountain hills, plains, plateaus. The difference that we see on the land surface are known as physical features. The differences that we can see on the land surface is known as physical features. So we are already now about the physical features of northern mountains. So what are the characteristics we learn about the Himalayan ranges? So they are covered with snow. They are called Himalaya. They have many high peaks and valleys, glaciers and mountain pass, and also hot springs and variety of plants and animals. So Himalaya is also a help for Indians. It prevents the cold winds from the Central Asia, and they are source of many Indian rivers. They check the monsoon winds causes heavy rainfall. So and also it control the foreign invention. So and also about the Everest. Mount Everest is the highest peak in the world. Mount Godwin Austen or K2 is the highest peak in India. Mullayanagiri is the highest peak in Karnataka. Annamudai is the highest peak in South India. So these are all the things we learn about in northern mountains. And next physical division is northern plains. So northern plains are like a playground. There is no obstructions. No. They are vast, fertile in India. In India, the south, it is located south of Himalaya. The vast and fertile and level land is there. The level land is called plain. So the different physical features influence the traditions and cultures of the area. Many towns and cities developed in the river banks and famous because it is a fertile and it is a there are so many perennial rivers flow in this area. So this condition made the so many empires ruled in this area. That means in northern plains. Mauryans, Mughals, Gupta. So and also the plains are more helpful to growth of architecture also, because the land is level. It is easy to construct the big buildings. And also the availability of different types of rock, sand, metal, wood, plant fiber, soil, ideal site, craftsmen. These are easily available in this area. They help to develop the architecture. So huge palace were constructed in Rajasthan. Taj Mahal in Agra was built by using the marble rock. So what happened today? Today the rivers flow in northern mountains are becoming polluted because plastic, several types of toxic waste, effluents of industries and are dumped into these rivers. and idols and images painted with different chemical paints are immersed in the river water. Chemical effluents which are released by the industries are leaked into the river water. Big cities produce the large amount of garbage in the different forms, which is thrown into the rivers and water get contaminated. Mining activities also cause the pollution of rivers. For example, river of Kali, Bhadra, etc. The Ganga River water cleaning program is under progress. It is not a correct to do this. So there are so many benefits for cleaning the water. So we must essential to maintain the cleanliness of the banks of river. Nowadays what happened, the river banks are very polluted. The harmful activities took place in these sides of the banks of rivers. Human beings destroy and source of drinking water which is essential for life. So northern mountains are very important place in the Indian physical division. So many 60% of the people they were living in this area. Because it is a plain land and availability of water. On this purpose, it is the vast population live in this area. So next physical division is peninsular plateau. So today we learn about the peninsular plateau. Children, Narmada. You see the map, page number 208. All of you open the textbook. There is a Narmada river on the map on India. This river divides the India into two parts. One is northern part is Malwa Plateau and southern plateau is called Deccan Plateau. Aravalli reigns northwest Malwa Plateau and Vindhyas lie to the south. Mount Guru Shikhara is the highest peak in the Aravalli. And there are also so many mountain ranges in Peninsular Plateau. Satpura, Maikal, Rajmahal, Amarkantak lies in the north of Deccan Plateau. The Western Ghats in the west and the Eastern Ghats in the east. Annamudai, Kadaman and Panali hills are the south of Western Ghats. Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats are meet at Nilgiri Hills. Udakamandala or UT, famous hill station, it is situated here. Many rivers Peninsular India have their source in the Western Ghats. The main characteristics of Western Ghats are, it is an upland with a extensive, almost level surface, which is bounded by the steep slopes. This landform is an extensive area of relative flat land. The Deccan Plateau is the largest plateau in India. It is made up of ancient hard rocks. Next, what are the advantages of Peninsular Plateau? Peninsular Plateau is rich in minerals. The rivers flow across it are helpful for the cultivation of crops. There are many waterfalls which are used for the generation of hydroelectricity. It is favorable for agriculture, rearing of animals and industries. Several empires also ruled in the Peninsular Plateau. Rashtrakutas, Chalukyas, Vaitsalas, Vijayanagara, Kadambas and Gangas, Bahmani Sultans established their empire. Understood? So, the Peninsular Plateau is take an important role in the Indian history. Next, you learn about the coastal plains. Now, let us study about the coastal plains. It is also one of the physical feature of India. So, the flat, low-lying land between the coast and higher land in the interior is called coastal plains. Which part is called as coastal plains? A flat, low-lying land between the coast and higher land in the interior is called coastal plains. India has a long coastal plain. Look at the map, children. In 210, their western coastal plains lie between the Western Ghats in the east and Arabian Sea in the west. It extends from Gulf of Kutch in the north to Kanyakumari in the south. The eastern coastal plain lies between the Eastern Ghats and the Bay of Bengal. It extends from Gangetic Delta in the north to Kanyakumari in the south. Both the coastal plains of India have major ports: Kandla, Mumbai, Navasheva, Marmagova, Navamangaluru, Kochi, Tuticorin, Chennai, Ennur, Vishakhapatnam, Paradip, Haldia, Kolkata are the major seaports of India. New Mangaluru port ranks ninth. It is very important. It is known as Gateway of Karnataka. New Mangaluru port is known as Gateway of Karnataka. The important feature of coastal plains are fishing is the main occupation of the people living in the coastal plain. So most of the people eat fish, prawn, spinach, I've got black-eyed peas and sambar cucumber, also eaten for food. Paddy, arecanut, coconut, cashew nut, cardamom, banana, vegetables are grown here. The use of boiled rice is very popular. The houses here have steep sloping roofs due to heavy rain. So these are all the important features of, and also the gently sloped stripes land bordering the sea, usually composed of sand gravel, is called beach. You can watch the sea far as you can. The striking sea waves bring the great delight to your mind and eyes. Ullala, Malpe, Kappu, Om and Maravanti beaches of Karnataka are attractive and beautiful, which are the other famous beaches. And also there are so many beaches in India. In almost all the beaches are located in the coastal area. So they attracted the tourist. The coastal plain takes a very important role in Indian physical feature. And also in India, there is a desert of India is the most important. The last part of the desert is located in Rajasthan. This desert is known as Thar Desert. A part of this desert also extends into Punjab, Haryana and Gujarat state. A desert is a vast and sandy area with very little vegetation. The temperature is high and decline is dry. Climate is dry. Scarcity of water due to the scanty rain. A fertile area in the desert is formed where the water comes up to the ground surface. This is known as oasis. Understood? What is oasis? Where you see the oasis? Oasis you see in desert area. A fertile area in the desert is formed where the water comes up to the ground surface. This is known as oasis. Those plants and trees which have special devices to withstand the long drought condition are grown here. The scrubs, cactus, acacia, thorny bushes, etc. The Aravalli range extends into the eastern fringe of the Thar Desert. It prevents the winds blowing from the east and it causes scanty rainfall. Therefore, this part has dry climate. So the dry climate and hot sun causes a feeling severe burning in the body. For some relief from the heat, people wear long robes and turbans. Lack of water and blazing sun determine the type of desert animals. Camels are also able to survive in the desert because have broad flat toes which are comfortable to the walk on the sand. Their humps store fat and sufficient amount of water which lasts for many weeks. Camels are useful for transporting food, goods and carrying the passengers in desert. That is why camel is called ship of desert. The agriculture also found around the oasis. Bajra, jowar, maize, sesame, dates and chilies are grown here. There are some salt lakes in these deserts known as playas, for example Sambar, Divana and Sargol lakes. Sambar lake is the largest salt lake in India. And there are the rivers also very important take a part in Indian physical disasters. There are so many river system in India. They are one of the natural resource. The diversity in this origin, direction of flowing and volume of water. Thus, the rivers of India can be classified into two groups: the northern Indian rivers and south Indian rivers. The rivers of North India, the major river system of North India are the Indus, Ganga, Brahmaputra and their tributaries. Most of them rise in the Himalaya mountains. They are perennial rivers. The northern plains are fertile due to the deposition of alluvium carried by the rivers of North India. They are best for agricultural activities. Famous ancient historic and pilgrim centers are situated on the banks of river. For example, Delhi, Agra, Varanasi, etc. The rivers of South India can be divided into east flowing rivers and west flowing rivers. The important east flowing rivers are the Mahanadi, Godavari and Krishna, Kaveri and Palar and Pennar. They flow southeast and eastwards and join the Bay of Bengal. The important west flowing rivers are Narmada, Tapati, Sharavati, Kali, Netravati, Periyar. These are all the important. They flow the westwards and join the Arabian Sea. These rivers are short and swift, suitable for the generation of hydroelectricity. In recent years, especially the Ganga Yamuna rivers has been heavily polluted, which was affected their purity. And next you learn about the climate of India. We already, children, practice the mark the Avaguanaska weather map. You see the weather map. Important we learn India has a tropical monsoon type of climate. The monsoon derived from the Arabic word mausim means periodic. The speciality of the climate of India is that it is a change from one season to another. Hence, we can see the diversity in climate also. There are 4 seasons in India. Winter season, summer season, southwest monsoon season and retreating monsoon season. The weather changes from time to time during the day. Sometimes it is blue, another time it is hot, sometimes it is a cloud. The dry air and changing monsoon winds and the natural hazard like a cyclone adversely affected the climate of India. Consequently, we find the sudden change taking place in the climate. The climate of India can be classified into 4 distinct seasons. Winter, December to January, February. Summer, March, April, May. Southwest monsoon, June, July, August. Retreating monsoon, October and November. Identify the direction of southeast, east and northwest of the map of India. India receives heavy rain from the southwest monsoon winds. The movement of air over the earth's surface from high pressure area to low pressure area is called wind. The winds which change their direction from one season to another are known as seasonal winds. For example, monsoon winds. Understood? So in this way, the physical divisions of India is a very important in Indian history or Indian physical division. So India has a diversity physical features. So in India we have its own plant and animals. There are thick monsoon forest, grassland, thorny bushes, scrubs, evergreen forest, mangrove forest, the deciduous forest are largely found in India. They are known as monsoon forest. There are animals, bird sanctuaries where elephants, tigers, lions, cheetah, bison, deer, peacocks, the various birds are found. They are major natural resources of India. The forest of Malnar or Sahyadri reserve, the forest of Nagaravale, Bandipura, Bhadra are main natural resource of Karnataka. So children, we call what we studied in this unit isn't natural environment of India. That is very beautiful, no? We should appreciate in its diversity. India climate needs the appreciated. We should protect our resource and prevent their destruction through the harmful human activities. So in this lesson we learn about in detail about the physical divisions of India, how they useful for Indians, how they affects on Indians living life of the people. But what happened today? These physical features are nowadays they become polluted by the activities of human beings. So you must preserve our natural resource. Understood? So these are all the things we learn in this lesson. So I think childrens, you read this lesson 2 or 3 times. Read slowly and you can understand about this lesson very detailed. We know about the Indian physical features. So in next class I will continue. Till now, take care. Goodbye. Thank you, children.